So our producer Rebecca here has a real soft spot in her heart for Emory Winship Cancer Institute for good reason.
Yeah, they saved my life.
Yeah, that'll do
Yeah,
it.
Oh,
that's a good reason.
That's a great reason.
That seems like a pretty good
I'd
reason.
say.
That's pretty important, I think. Yeah, I'm looking for people to help support the Institute and people who supported me. So, as many people know, I was diagnosed with tongue cancer in October 2023. I was immediately directed to the Emory Winship Cancer Institute, where I have received all my care and treatment. I was set up with a full care team, surgeons, doctors, specialists, dietitians, you name it. Honestly, the fact that I sound this good, it's all due to them.
You had an Instagram story, I think, the other day that I was so touched by. It was your first day back after, the surgeries and everything. And the way you spoke that day is so different than the way you are speaking now. And for you to celebrate that and see the progress, I was really touched by that.
It was just so funny because today I still am so just hard on myself about my speech clarity. And looking back at that moment and hearing myself and thinking about how far I've come, it was like very special to me.
And I'm glad you're seeing that, and I'm glad you're recognizing all your hard work.
Yeah, that was awesome. But that is all due to the people at Emory Winship Cancer Institute. Shout out Rosa, my SLP. I would die for you. Now I don't have to, which is really nice.
She's still got jokes, folks.
But what I have learned through this honestly awful experience is that there is kindness in everyday people. And the consideration and quality of care that I received at Emory Winship Cancer Institute is beyond compare. I have so many stories of empathy from so many people at Winship, but I'd like to share just a small one now. When I had surgery at Winship, I had to get about a quarter of my tongue removed and reconstructed. That meant that my tongue was going to swell up huge to the point that it would obstruct my breathing, which meant I had to get a tracheostomy, which, if you don't know what that is, it's literally just a tube inserted at the base of your throat that gives you a clear way to breathe. And it's the reason why now I have a scar that looks like a little belly button in my neck. I like to keep snacks in there. You can hold like one pistachio. Proving that you could breathe on your own and get the trach removed was one of the biggest steps to getting released from the hospital. And I knew that well because during my 10-day stay, a respiratory nurse reminded me of that often. I don't remember his name because I was really high, but he was big and tall and so friendly. He would make his rounds every other day to check on me and make sure I was breathing and that my tracheostomy wasn't bothering me. Later in my stay, he told me about how the doctors would try to cap me soon. They would put literally a plastic cap on the end of the tracheostomy tube to force me to breathe on my own. If I could make it 24 hours, I would get the trach removed. He told me it would be hard, but I could do it. Right after he left, the doctors came in and asked me if I wanted to be capped. I said yes, and he was right. Breathing on my own after spending more than a week using the tube was very difficult. And there were times during the 24 hours where I didn't think I was going to make it all the way. But I remembered encouraging me, and I pressed on. I made it through, and the doctors took out the trach, and I was able to breathe normally. The next morning, the respiratory nurse walked into my hospital room. I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he stopped short. He threw his hands up in the air, and he gasped. He saw that I had the trach removed, and he was so excited for me. I will never forget his huge smile, him holding my hand, telling me good job, that I was one step closer to going home. That is just one small moment that makes up countless other stories of people who have cheered me on at my time at Winship, which is why I'm coming to you all today to ask if you can help me support the Institute and the people who supported me. The Winship Cancer Institute 5K is on September 28th, 2024, and it would mean so much to me if you would join my team. You don't have to run.
That's our kind of fun.
She knows us well.
Yeah, I'll be running virtually in a different location on the day. But I've created a page through Winship where people who have heard my story can donate to the institution or even join my team and run the 5K. So the link right now is on thebertshow.com with all the instructions and more info. I'll be posting it on my social as well and sharing on the Bert Show socials. So it would just mean a lot to me if anyone is willing to run if you want to. But
Do you have a team name? Because I know that's always a big deal.
Right now it's just Team Rebecca, but if you can come up with anything
We can
else.
do better than that.
Oh, yeah. Give you 24 hours. You can come up with something better than that. I know that for sure.
Team Tattoo Tongue.
Yeah, that.
There it is.
TTT.
In honor of the respiratory therapist, maybe it's Becky with the good air.
Very good. Wow.
That was good.
You should take the rest of the morning off. It's never going to get better than that.
The rest of the year.
Again, so where can they get the info and where can they help out and register and all that?
So the link right now is on thebertshow.com. You can go to my personal team page where you can either donate or join my team. And I'll be sharing on my personal socials at Rebecca M. Land anywhere and on the Bert Show socials.
So I want to build on this for just 1 second and kind of connect to it. And I don't want to take away from Winship Cancer Institute because it sounds like they've been absolutely awesome. Since coronavirus, right? Since the virus, I have heard from so many doctors and so many nurses how hard it has become to be in that profession. People are frustrated. They are taking it out now on doctors and nurses, the ones that are supposed to care for us. And I've heard nurses say that it chips away at their enthusiasm and this kindness that you're talking about, right? But there are thousands of nurses and doctors each and every day that do the same kind of kind acts that are not getting credit for it. These guys are exceptional. And as a sidebar even to that also, I think we can get really, really jaded by how kind this world is also. The kind stories don't sell. You know, I have to go look for them on Instagram, right? But in my algorithm, because of this show and the stuff that we talk about, you can really feel like the world is not a kind place. And while it might not overall overreaching be, there are so many kind people like this person that was helping you out that we just don't hear enough. And I really think it can jade your attitude.
So I just want to remind you that when you first came on the air and you told everybody you had been diagnosed, you were pretty upset because you felt like you had finally found your voice and that you were losing it. But I just want to let you know that you still have your voice and you're using it for really beautiful, powerful things.
Thank you.
We love you. Love you lots.
Super proud of you, babe.
Love you.
Super.
The Bert Show.